Okay. So I'm gonna make a small lab for you guys. I can see so far we have 14 participants, and it's gonna be a simple lab. Packet tracer. I normally don't use packet tracer. I use the EVNG or a real enterprise lab, but then you can install this packet tracer on any computer with very minimal resources. Even if you have 8 gig RAM or sometime less, you know, you can do that. So I just click on packet tracer, and I'm not sure it's taking so much time. Okay, now it's open up. Let's see if I can fit this into a screen. And I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger and see if I can fit everything into my recording area. So very quick for some people who missed the previous class, for I created like a couple of devices and put IP address on it and connect them. In this lab, before I jump to the lab, I just wanna show again one more time the devices over here. If I click on the first icon right here, just look at all of them first. One thing, this one, and then this is the under that. This is the detail. Devices fall under the network devices. See, it says network. It's hidden behind my mouse. Network devices, and then it says on the side, and then on the and these are the network devices at the bottom. If I click on the next one, these are basically our end devices, which are computers, printers, laptop, anything, right? It shows over here, right here. Okay, I can pick any of them. Then there are other devices I don't need it right now. And these are the connection. These are the lines. You're going to use them to connect the devices together. These are the only 3 icons you might need it. So network devices, uh, computers, and end devices, laptop, printers, servers. Those are the end devices, and then connectors. So we're gonna start from again one more time. I'm gonna have let's just say 2 laptop for starter, and then if I connect it, I'll just do very quickly. Put an IP address here on the first one. You click on that, left click, and you go to the desktop, and you see different things here. This is a command prompt where you use normal a command on the Windows command, black and white screen, like a CMD you type in the Windows, is going to take you to the command prompt. We did that. And if you want to put an IP address, you click here and type the IP address here. And let's just say I put an IP address here, 10.10.1.11, right? And the subnet mask I put here, 255 3 times .0. And the default gateway, I'm gonna just put it here, but at this point we don't need it. Why? I'm gonna just say 1 for now. Like everybody use this one, so I'll use it. DNS, we don't need it, but in the real environment, you definitely would need a DNS. I just put it here, Comcast or AT&T or whichever ISP you have, or your router default gateway, you can put that in there. So I just put here my, which is not really gonna do much because we are not gonna go to the internet. And then you just do nothing, just close it, okay? And if you wanna change the name, like this, IP address, and if you wanna go here and type the laptop name, I mostly say PC1, and that's my IP address, right? I just put that here. So if I just put only PC1, I would not know what is my IP address is. So it's gonna say on the diagram right on the behind the screen, it's gonna say only PC1. Okay, all right. Now I close it, and it's gonna be just showing PC1 and then IP address next to it. So even if I just delete this one, Okay, delete it. And I can just hold this one and I can copy it like that. I'm gonna make 3 copies of that. Okay, just hold the control button, like you hold, like for example, you hold the control button down. So I'm holding on the keyboard control button down, and then click here and drag it, and then release the control button. This is always gonna copy, but I don't need the last one. Delete it. Okay, hit the delete button. You select it and hit that. See, if this is a X mark, if you keep clicking on any of them, it's gonna keep deleting them, which I'm not gonna do. So I just hit escape. It's gonna remove the X button. So now I already have the real IP address on the first one. Second one, I just have to fix it, and then I'll just click here under the desktop IP configuration, and then here I'm gonna put here IP address 12 because I cannot have a identical IP address on all the devices. Is going to cause a IP conflict. IP conflict means that if 2 people have the same name, and then when we call them, then it's going to be a problem, right? Unless they say Mr. Senior or Junior or something. So this is the PC2. I call it PC2. Okay, and this is a 12. And this I close it. And then go to the third one. Okay, click here, just one left click, and then go under the desktop IP configuration, and that's I'm gonna make it 13, right? 13 IP address, and under the config, I'm gonna just change it to 13 here, right? 13 right here, and then I'm gonna call this guy a PC number 3. Okay, so click close it. Okay, now the problem is I can connect these 2 devices, or these 2, or the first and the last one. I can connect PC1 to PC2 or PC2 to PC3. I cannot connect all 3 together, right? Because once I connect a cable, so I take this, which let's say whichever cable I pick, doesn't matter. Right now, just say pick which is straight through is the wrong one here. But let's just say there's a 2 type of cables here, primarily crossover. This is a straight through and the crossover. Crossover mostly used for the identical devices. If the 2 devices are exactly the same, I mean, most cases this definition fits, but then some cases they have autocross, but don't worry about that right now. So let's just say I use this cable and connect and fast Ethernet to fast Ethernet. And now I'll go back here, and if I try to connect fast Ethernet to where? Here, I cannot connect. There's no any more fast Ethernet left. It's already used by the other computer. I cannot connect. I cannot connect to USB or IRS2. This is the old style cable. So that means this device left. So what should I do? So this is not a solution. So I deleted this cable. I'm gonna hit the delete button and delete this cable. I don't need it. So the other way is you use the switch. So I'm gonna use the switch here. Go to the first one and click on this is a router. That's a switch. Switch is nothing but is a multi-port device. It connect multiple, just like a power strip. You want to connect multiple multiple like electric devices, right? And you call it power switch. I don't know, let's call it power switch, but then it's a power strip. Okay, you plug 2 fans or 2 devices, okay, 2 computers or your phones or multiple things. Okay, so the thing like as a switch. I want to pick you can pick any. There's a different model of switches. I just picked this one. So this is my one of the favorite one. Okay, I picked this one, and then it has, if I click here on this one, it has 24 ports, the main 24 ports. So this is a picture of the switch. So there's a port 1, 2, 3, 4 up till 12, and then 11, 12 up till 24. And then 2 extra high-speed ports. I mean, nowadays, these are obsolete switches, but then for lab purpose, okay. Okay, this model is obsolete. I mean, it's been obsolete long time ago. So I don't know, maybe 2017, if I 2000, yeah, around 2016 maybe. I have to check, Google it. There's a thing called end of life, EOL, of put the model number next to it, and it tell you when it was end of life, end of service, or end of maintenance, or kind of thing. So if I click here, there's a command line interface here. Different you can do different things here. Whenever you get this message, You just click on no here for no. I mean, I'm not gonna teach you right now how the switch works, but let's just click whenever you see this message, just click type no, and then you get this prompt. Okay, so I just put this. I don't need it right now. I just close it. Okay, I just want to show you the basic networking. Okay, and then we already put the IP addresses. I'll just connect all these 3 computers. Take this cable, put in the switch. I mean the laptop. Click fast Ethernet 0. Connect it here, and then pick any port. I just pick port number 11. Okay, and then you go back again. You pick this port, fast Ethernet 0. Then you click here, and I'm gonna pick port number 12. I just wanna go consistency. Doesn't matter. You can pick any port, but I'm just putting here just for my own. I can remember it. Port number 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, these are the ports. Now that's now they're just simply connected. If I go here and any of the PC and go to the desktop and then click on command prompt and just type here ipconfig. I showed you the command ipconfig, give you the IP address which is assigned to that computer. This is the IP assigned to this computer and 13. So if I take this IP and then ping the neighbor computer. If I just click here, ping is just like sending a hello messages. So ping 10.10. What is that? 1. My computer IP is 13. My neighbor IP is 12. I ping 12. Can I ping it? Yes, I can ping it. Okay. So I'm gonna ping the next one, 11. It's pinging the 11. That means if I can ping from here all the other 2 computers, definitely I will be able to ping from here to these 2 computers as well. So that's pretty much is the very basic computer labs. But the thing is, let's say you're living these 3 computers, you are here, and I'm gonna just call this place. Can I put a note here in the packet tracer? I think I can. I'm gonna call it Chicago. Okay, Chicago City. Okay, I cannot make bold here, right? No. So let's just say for a second, this is Chicago. I'm gonna have another similar identical. I just wanna copy it. See, I'm just lazy and save time. And I'm gonna give this switch name. Let's just call it. I'm gonna just click here. The first one I'm gonna give a switch name. Can I put a name here? Config, and I'm gonna call it here CHI Chicago SW1, right? And then if I close it, would it change the name or no? Yeah, it changed the name right here. Chicago is hidden behind some pointers. Okay, so now I'm gonna give the name this guy. Let's call it. How did I change the name right here? Okay, so change the name. I'll call it Glenview Switch 1. Okay, so I just call it Switch 1, and then I close it. And then I just put one more. You know what? Let's just use these 2 for now. Okay, so I just put it here, and I'm gonna just modify the IP scheme. Instead of 10.10, I'm gonna say 10.10.1. I'll just call it 10.10.2.11. So I just use the third octet. I'm gonna modify it. Desktop, IP config, and the third octet I'm gonna call it 2. 2, and then first 2 octet I keep it same. The default gateway has to be 2. The first 3 octet has to match. Now, why? There's a whole TCP/IP subnetting behind that. It all depends on the subnet mask. Right now we don't have. We can have a separate class for that. So 10.10.10.2.11, and I'm gonna make everyone 2, the third octet. Okay, and then also I just put this here, 2 in the as well, and this is gonna be PC number 1, but PC number of 1 of who? Of the Glenview location. This is a PC number 1 of the Glenview location. Okay, so I just close it, and then it should change it. PC 1, and that's the third octet is 2, and you click here again, same concept, and then config, and then change this PC2, PC2, and this was, what was that, 12? Yeah, it's a 12. And then, oh, hold on. I changed it here, but did I change it inside? I don't know. Let's see. So this is a 2.12. Okay. So, and then we also have to change the gateway 2.12, 2.1. Okay. Just to make sure this is a 2.12, 2.1, and this is a 2.12 is the name. Just a host name is nothing. It's just for our display. Go back to this guy. I think, I don't know if I did it's a 2.11, and did I change the IP inside? And it was 2.11 and then 2.1. Okay. So that's good. All right, let's close it. And then I click here, and then I went to the config again, and then I'm going to change the third octet IP2, and the rest is 13, and then go on the desktop, same IP address, and only difference is 2 here, and then gateway is also 2, right? So that's it. So I just click close it, and now see, let's see if I can ping. I pick any IP, any computer, pick this first computer, okay, and I'm going to go to CMD command line, CMD right here. And then here, I'm gonna ping the other IP. So what's my IP address? IP config gonna give you my IP. My IP is 10.10.2.11, and I'm gonna ping my neighbor, ping 10.10.2.12, and then it's pinging. Okay, and then if I go to the third one, ping 10.10. Mine is 13. I'm pinging. I ping already 12. I'm gonna ping this 11 now. Okay, so it's pinging 11 now. Okay. So mine IP is, oh, I'm sorry, hold on. My IP was 11. Okay, so let's just verify. IP config gonna give me my IP is 11. Okay, so I should ping 13 as well. So I think I ping 11, 12, and I did not ping 13. Let's just ping 13. They all should ping anyway, just for your satisfaction. Okay, I'm able to ping all these IP addresses, make it a little closer here. But the question is, can I ping Chicago to, I'm gonna just give a name here, call it Glenview. Can I ping Chicago, any computer to Glenview? No, because there's no cable attached. So this whole thing is called, I'm gonna call it LAN, right? LAN. This is a LAN, it's a local area network, right? And I'm gonna call it LAN, Chicago LAN, Glenview LAN. This is a local area network, LAN. Local network is a lot these days. It's not just one switch. They maybe have these days as many switches, like maybe hundreds or 50 or 20 or 10 switches, depending on the size of the network. I mean, they cannot be just one switch. Okay, and there are different variety of different functional, the very high end big data center switches, or some small branch level switches too. So that's a separate discussion. But right now the question is, let's say two locations, they are far, they are not very close, maybe like 10 to 20, 25, 13 miles far apart, and how we connect. So we connect, we're gonna go to the ISP service provider, and we're gonna say, can you run a cable from Chicago to Glenview location? And if they provide me a cable, let's just say I hired a service and they gave me a cable, and then I simply they gave me a cable, and they left the cable hanging here. Okay, and then I connect this switch, and it's a very low speed cable, but I'm not gonna waste my gigabit ports on that. It's a very only 10 or 100 meg speed cable. So I connect my fast Ethernet to this fast Ethernet, and now these two switches are connected. I'm not sure in this new packet tracer, can I ping it or no, or I need a crossover cable. Let's test it. Okay. So first what we do here, actually, let me give you a different concept here for a second. Okay, so I'm gonna delete this one. I'm gonna go even a smaller low level concept. Then I come to the switch to switch connection. So let's just connect here a router. Let's just throw a router, and one of the favorite router is this one, 4331. So you have, at the same time, you have a routing functionality introduced too. So I just delete this cable, and then in the next lab, I'm gonna copy the same lab, and I'm gonna delete the router, and then we're gonna use it. So with the now we're going to use the router, and you this way you will know what is the function of router is. So I'm going to use this G001 port on the router to this I call it G01. Okay, I don't care. So now I'm going to just use this again. Okay, pick this one. Hold on, let me just go in the sequence. Okay, sorry. Some people they want to go in a sequence like this is a first subnet. I just gonna call it G00, and then this goes to the G01. Okay. And then over here, G001 goes to both are G01. Okay. So don't worry about that, what port I used. If you want to type it, you just literally click here, and then you can just go even click here. This port is called G0. What is that? G001 or 2? Okay, 00. Okay, let's click here. And when you take the mouse here, okay, it will tell you what port is that. The bottom one is G00, G001, G01 and G00. Okay, so G01, okay, and then top one is this is a G0/0/0. Okay, so now we have this. So just to make sure that it's a G00 and G01. Very simple lab. I think I'm gonna just go and do the other one very quickly. And let me pause the video for a second. Let me pause the recording. Can I pause it? Resume. Okay. I started the recording again. Just for the recording purpose, I put the labels here. There's nothing, no configuration was done. Just Chicago LAN, and that's the IP address. That's the subnet mask. Sorry, subnet of this 10.10.10.1.0, and the subnet mask is 24-bit mask. 24-bit mean is nothing but 255.255.255.0, 3 times 255.0. Same thing over here, 10.10.10.2.0, and the mask is 255.255.255.0. That's a 3 times 255.0. That's the subnet mask. Okay, you saw that in the IP configuration. If I click on any of the laptop, and you saw that we put IP address 2.13. Okay, and that's the mask, which is mean nothing but it's a /24. That's what /24 means. And then what's the gateway put? 2.1. So 2.1 is the gateway, which is a router. What's the router gonna do? Basically, our problem was what was our problem, guys? We were not able to. Can anyone say that? Malik? Oh, Malik, you went to work, right? Or Minaz? The problem was, if you can unmute it and tell me, were we able to connect? Were we able to communicate between the two locations without like having any connection? Like we were able to communicate within the LAN environment, right? So if you want to communicate between the LANs, between the two LANs, two local area networks, see LAN 1 and LAN 2. So, or whichever LAN one you say, one LAN and other LAN. So we're gonna communicate. So we need some kind of routing capability to route the traffic. See the street routes, what those routes are in the street, like Route 53, Illinois, Route 75, whatever routes, Route 14. What they do, they connect the towns. They connect one small, another big city, or maybe a small city, or multiple cities. They connect together. Those are routes are. That's what the routes are here too. So they connect one network to the other network. They can communicate. So and to route the traffic, we need a router. So that's what the router is. Okay. So we're gonna go only simply configure this router. Okay. So you're gonna click here, click on the router, and this is the router, how it's gonna look like. And hold on. Yeah. So somehow my screen is very dark, but it has few Ethernet ports. and those are the one are G000 and G001. We call it G/0, G0/0/1. That's what we used to say in our childhood, but now we say G001, G000. Okay, so I click on the command line interface, and anytime you get this screen, whether it's a switch or router, just click no. There's a reason is no means you don't want to configure like automated configuration. You want to just do manual configuration, and then hit extra enter. Okay, so here I will explain that how the router gonna work later on, but very quickly, I just need to show you that this first, when you log in, this particular router mode will not let you do anything. The command is mostly are here show command. Show command will tell you what you can do, what you can see, show command. But there's a command, you want to have an extra level of access, or you can say the word called privilege. So we have a privilege mode, and that will enable you to have that privilege mode will enable you to do more multiple things, and you can do a lot more than that. So that will enable you. That's why we call it enable. So it's going to enable you to do extra authorized thing. So I'm going to just use the word, the command is they call it enable. So just say enable. Enable means it's a command enable, but also enables means is gonna also give you the privilege level access. It's going to enable you to do that. So click on enable, and you get the pound symbol, this hash symbol, and that's the name of the router. So we're not going to configure the router right now at other configuration except these two ports. So we're going to type here show IP interface brief. That's the command we use to see all the ports in here. So these are the ports in the router. If I just make the screen there bigger, hold on, it just disappear. So if I make the screen bigger, so you see that, and then 1 second, guys. Okay, guys, sorry, I had a disturbance here. So right now we have 3 ports showing here, G00 and then G001, right? So if I click here on G00 and type here show IP interface brief, that's a short form of that show. Show is a full word, show IP INT. INT stands for interface, and BRI is a short form of brief, show IP interface. You can type the whole thing, show IP interface brief. So I just type here, and then there are, let's just consider first 2 ports which we are using it here. And then in here, they are basically administratively down, like they are hard down by the manufacturer. Like when you buy the router, you go to config mode, and config mode is gonna let you configure. But when you log in for the very first time, you have a user exec mode. This is a very basic mode. There are mainly multiple modes, but mainly 3 modes are here. One is the user exec mode, which is really you cannot do much, nothing. So you mostly do nothing here. Okay, so you go to the enable mode, and then here you can do multiple things. So you might say why they have these 2 different modes, because some people they want to have basic command they would need to type, like a entry level guy, they want to ping something like help desk, they just allow like very minimal access. But there are other advanced ways. This is the old style. They kept it from 20 years, 30 years, since the time I saw it's 1995 sorry, 2005, 2003, 2004, I think. So since that time, I see that they're still keeping it the same way. Okay, I don't remember the exact year. So around that time. So if I want to go to the make the configuration changes, I go to the config T. Config T stands for configuration terminal. So I just type here config T, and I just wanna go to interface mode. If I want to modify this configuration in this one, I'm gonna type here int G0/0/0. Okay, and if I type it int stand for interface, because this is the interface, and I did not type the whole thing gigabit ethernet. I just type it G. That's enough. Okay, so you can type the whole thing gigabit ethernet gigabit ethernet 0/0. You can do the whole thing. Okay, and then you see now it is not only in the config mode, it is a interface config mode now. And you just type here, first of all, this administrator is shut down by default. Okay, and then what you're going to do here, you're going to type here IP address. What is the IP address here on this G00? Look at here very quickly. G00 has 10.10.1.1, and then you have to put a subnet mask .0. You enter it and just type here no shutdown. No shutdown, the short form is called no shut. You're always going to do that. And once you do it, no shutdown, it will change the Giga interface, change state to up right here, up. Okay. And then there's a difference here. I'll explain maybe status up means and protocol up mean. What's the difference? So if I click here again, if I hit Control Z again, Control Z will kick me out all the way back to my enable mode, okay, or user privilege mode. So if I click here, show IP interface, I type it here, and this show IP interface brief will tell me that my first port is IP address is signed, and this manually method is up. I mean, the physical status is up, and I did by command no shut. That means manually I did it. When I type a command manually, it didn't automatically come up. I just had to type no shut command. That would mean manually I did it. And now the protocol up means it can communicate on the other side. Like we used to call a line protocol up, and this is called physical state up. So both are up. Now the second port we need to configure the same way. So if you did not know, if you forgot how to do the first port, let's just repeat it. Go to config T, configuration T, and then type here interface G001. Okay, then IP address. Okay, I hit a tab. See, when I type here IP address and I hit a tab, it's gonna fill up the whole word address. Same thing, other words, as long as you type the minimal unique characters here and hit a tab, it will fill up the rest of the word. Like I type ADD and it's type hit tab, is gonna fill up the rest of it. And then I type here 10.10.2.1. See on the right hand side is that G001 and the IP address system. And the same thing here 255.255.0. We did that and then I hit enter and type here no shut. Okay, and then same thing when I did that, it says line protocol state is up, and then line protocol is up. Okay, so I just type here Control Z. Okay, Control Z kick me out all the way to the main. Then I type here show IP interface brief. So now I see all my ports are up. Okay, so the question is, can I ping from the router to any of the PC or no? Let's try the other way around. Let's try, I don't know, if there's not gonna work, then we can troubleshoot that. I close this window, and then you're gonna go back here and let's pick any laptop. Let's just pick 11 laptop. Okay, can I ping my gateway? First thing, always you try to go here and go to command prompt and type here ipconfig. And what is my gateway address? My gateway address is 10.10.1, which is right here. Let's see if I can ping 10.10.1.1. Can I ping it? Yes, I can ping it. So if I go to the other PC, my right hand side PC, and I'm going to do this IP config again just to verify. So I'm sorry, typo, IP config, and then I just type here. This is my gateway is here 2.10.10.2. So ping 10.10.2.1. I can ping my gateway. That means both can communicate all the way up here. Can I ping on the other side? So I'm going to say ping 10.10.1, which is my left side, .11. That's the PC on the left side. So I'm pinging from right side laptop to all the way left side. So, and if I go vice versa, and if I go from the left to right, if I say ping 10.10.2.11, I'm pinging, so I can ping the right hand side from the left. So I'm not only ping each other, but I can ping from one end to the other one. So very, very quickly, this part we call it WAN. This one is called WAN. WAN stands for wide area network. This is a very laughable at the very low level. Somebody can laugh on it. This is a wide area network. Actually, it's not really that kind of wide area, but just for lab purpose, we kind of call it this, because we are showing here Chicago to Glenview, which is 20 miles and more, or 15, 20 miles. So that's pretty far. We order a connection, and then we had a router from maybe ISP or your own routers We put it in the some central place and connect them. So I'm gonna stop the recording here, and if you have any question, I'm gonna just actually let me pause the recording.